Welcome, women and gentlewomen of all ages, to the by far most brilliant video on my channel. For those of you who are unsure, this is obviously a very educational video. I will be talking about the brilliant medium of anime in a way that was never talked about before. So yes, this is for the good of mankind and for the progression of the human race. The reason that I ended up making this video was, well, pretty simple. It's kind of a thank you, because on my latest biggest flexes in anime, you actually hit that 80,000 like goal, so another one is on the way. And in my latest greatest plots in hentai video, you actually, well, asked for 50,000 likes and you got it over 200,000. It's the most liked video on my entire channel, and it was messing with me for like a week. So here's a bonus flex for all of you to enjoy. The biggest flexes in hentai. Yes, a perfect culmination of two wonderful mediums, flexing in fiction, which is always extremely enjoyable, as well as analyzing hentai, which is far more enjoyable than it should be. So, similar to my other hentai videos, being that keeping them on my channel is actually not good for me, especially because, you know, the last one was age restricted and whatever, this video will be deleted shortly. So, watch while you can and share around and whatever. And if this video does get 100,000 likes before getting deletified, then Biggest Flexes in Hentai 2 will come out. Not promising when, but it will happen, and it will also be deleted. So I highly suggest you subscribe if you actually want to catch it. This is an appreciation video from me to you for everything. And it's also funny because I memed about making biggest flexes in hentai, and a lot of you liked the idea of meming it, but I don't think any of you actually expected it to be reality. Because I mean, like, how are there flexes in hentai? You shall see. This video is obviously not sponsored by anyone, but if you're also insane, feel free to peep my Sanity is Overrated merch. Link in the description. That would be extremely cool. First flex, and this one is from Gakuen de Jikan yo Tomare. So now this beautiful anime has a brilliant philosophy behind it, but first I'm gonna have to be talking about what it's about a little bit to set up the epicness of the flex that's about to ensue. So there's this dude who's the illegitimate son of this extremely aristocratic individual who is so awesome he even owns his own super prestigious girls' school. Now, before anything else, this guy was already blessed with hentai protagonistitis, meaning he has no eyes, but inadvertently gains superpowers. This is a thing that you will notice is fairly present in this beautiful genre, and it is the perfect way to set up his flexnacious abilities. Now, this isn't very relevant or anything, but he was walking down the street and some witch said to him, "Hey, come hither, my child," and gave him a stopwatch that could stop time. So he was like, "Oh, sick, I love these things. This is like the greatest thing ever." And he proceeds to do what any normal hentai protagonist would do with this watch that stops time. Now, full disclosure, I am not condoning the actions any of these hentai protagonists that I'm about to be taking are going to be doing, because most of what they do is, well, relatively not so kosher. Like, if I would know someone that did this type of thing, it's not the type of person I would ever want to speak to, ever. Well, at least I wouldn't want anyone to know that I speak to this guy, but that's not the point. Point is, this guy gets time-stopping watch thingy, and then, well, his aristocratic dad has two daughters, which are, well, his half-sisters, that are students within this school. Coincidentally, one is a lolly, and the other one is a big busty babe. Total coincidence, and not purely just to impress a wide audience. Now, this guy is thinking with his head first and his penis second. Yes, he does stop time to invade the school. Yes, while time is stopped, he does do some relatively uncouth, not so nice appropriate things with his two half-sisters, but does he do it purely for pleasure because they're hot and he's a dude? Hell nah. This guy is next level 5,000 IQ hentai protagonist. The reason why he used this time-stopping power right here on these two girls is for one reason and one reason only. It's to flex on his dad. His dad's pride and joy are these two girls within this school. So he does his unspeakable based on YouTube's guidelines thingo to them, purely to piss off his father, to which he probably succeeds. I mean, we don't really get to see dad's reaction, I think, but I can imagine he's not happy about the whole thing. Flexed on big time by hentai protagonist with no eyes and superpowers. Extremely cool, but this is biggest flexes in hentai, not moderately decent flexes in hentai. Oh no. This school also has some swim team, sports team thingo, which is extremely cool for whatever reason, and his father's also really proud of this sports team. So what does our kind-hearted, respectable hentai protagonist do? Well, that's right. he doesn't just finish with his sisters. Hell nah! Time for this guy to stop time again and go after that sports team I was talking about, where they can all make that Belle Delphine face after time gets restarted. Yes, that's right. I now call Ahigo faces anime characters making Belle Delphine faces, as opposed to Belle Delphine making anime faces. Yes, she has affected the medium to that degree. So now, after doing that to the sports team, have you figured out his true objective yet? It's not just to nut with no repercussions because of his time stop-a-fire. Hell no! It's to flex on his dad. And he's like, they gotta stop here. All right, so I got the daughters and we got the sports team. Let's proceed to stop time for however long it takes to violate every single girl in the entire massive girls' school, Belle Delphinifying all of them, where they all just like get knocked out because of the amounts of pleasure they've had and whatever. You know, typical hentai stuff based on facts, logic, and a bit of science. And this dude, who apparently has the testicular stamina of Thanos with all Infinity Stones, manages to get through all of them, leave the school, restart time. And you know why he did all this? No, it's not because he wanted to bust a nut. No, not because he was horny and whatever, and no one ever liked him because he has no eyes. And why would you like someone with no eyes? No, it was for none of that. The reason why he was with those daughters and with that sports team and with every single girl in the school, that's right, it was to flex on his father. This man's like the Escanor of hentai. He just goes around borderline unstoppable, and we're not even gonna need to question the fact that he somehow managed to get this thing that stops time. That is completely irrelevant to the plot of where he flexes on his dad. Now, I may need to include this into my discussing the greatest plots in hentai because I didn't get to the part talking about the deeper philosophy of this series, so you may hear me dissect it another day, but as far as flexes go, this was a big one. Next flex, Kuroinu. Again, if I were to fully express the deeper plot and philosophy of Kuroinu, we could be here all day, and I'm sure none of us, especially me, want that to happen. So definitely subscribe if you want me to dissect the deeper philosophies later. But as far as the flex goes, this here be a big one. When people describe political anime to me, like, you know, Code Geass, Log Horizon even, all of the Gundam stuff, I'm just sitting there SMHing because it has to at least be a more political masterpiece than Kuroinu, and most aren't. And if you correct me and say it's actually pronounced Kuro Inu, shut the hell up, it's a hentai. The flex that I'm talking about is when a certain band of humans team up with the orcs against the hot elves. Yes, there are probably other factions to the elves as well as other humans that are not gonna be talked about right here, but I don't really care about them. I'll discuss them when I talk about the brilliant plot of Kuroinu potentially another day. As far as the flex goes, all you need to know is the orcs are really powerful with penises that look like elephant trunks when soft. Not that I would know anything about that, but they're dumb. So they team up with some smart humans because humans are smart, and their plan to destroy the elves. So now they have a couple of those elves captured, and well, option A, tortured the information out of them. Definitely a solid approach. Option B, kill them to scare their opponents and torture the information out of opponents, or the opponents volunteer it because they're so scared. Also definitely a viable option. We can go with that. Option C, use magic, since apparently magic exists, to get the really important intel out of these two wise elves that you've captured. One of them being the elf queen. Also another good choice. We could go with that. And option 4, well, option D is what they go with. It's have sex with them for legitimately no political reason. Yes, that's what they go with, and it's brilliant. But I don't need to discuss any of this political stuff now. We're here to talk about the biggest flex. So the first thing they do is they do not take elf queen whammon, but they take elf soldier whammon. And well, they give them to elephant trunk orcs to keep her company. And when they finish keeping her company, and her mind is not exactly the clearest and sharpest it ever was, they take her to the jail cell of elf queen whammon to see her. That is correct. All that time they've spent with elf soldier whammon, making her clothes dirty among other things, was purely to flex on elf queen whammon, saying, ha, this was your strong-minded servant. You know what's gonna happen to you? Flexed on. There was no purpose to this whatsoever, aside from flexing on elf queen whammon, because they were gonna do what they were gonna do to elf queen whammon anyway. But before they started, they wanted elf queen whammon to see what became of elf soldier whammon. I hope you're following. I understand this is complicated. So they went to the great lengths of messing with elf soldier whammon just to flex on elf queen whammon. A metaphor for this is obviously when Madara decided not only was he gonna drop one meteor, but he was gonna drop a second meteor. That's kind of what was going on here, just in a slightly more explicit and deeper political analytical way. So glad we got that out of the way. Epic flex there. Next flex. And this is from the hentai Crimson Girls. So now, Crimson Girls is about a bunch of girls who developed a secret organization that rides the train all day because, unfortunately, they've watched a lot of hentai and they know that whenever a girl walks on the train, she is not gonna get the ride that she expected. So, because of their deep hentai knowledge, they developed a secret society of Crimson Girls that will fight back whenever they see something awry going on said train. So, the protagonist of this hentai is the dude that's like, oh, you girls are riding the train to stop molestation or whatever else is gonna be happening. Well, time to flex on you by saying, yeah, that philosophy that you're gonna be stopping bad stuff from happening on trains while you're gonna be the target of that bad stuff. Get flexed on! Next flex. Depravity. This is the story of a teacher who happens to be awesome at martial arts and all the students love her, including a couple of students that, well, love her a little more than as a teacher. So, in typical hentai fashion, these guys wear masks that cover their eyes, so you can't see their eyes, so they brilliantly evolve into the ideal hentai protagonist due to their hard work ethic alone. Mad respect, boys. And these guys manage to capture the teacher, tie her up after a few of them get beaten the crap out of them because the teacher's a mad lad, and then they proceed to, well, do things to the teacher that the teacher would rather they don't do, but I can't discuss them further because YouTube is not yet fully Pornhub. But these guys, well, not only do they have a sense of humor, and not only are they gonna get their way because, you know, the teacher's already tied up and, well, they're already all going to jail if they were caught, so they might as well go all the way at this point. At least that was the philosophy going through their heads. Not that I condone it. In fact, I'm a little anti this entire genre. I'm the commentator here, not the drug dealer. But in any case, they tell the teacher, hello, teacher. Now that we have you in this position, we will play a game with you. If you win the game, well then, we will let you go. If you lose the game, we will not let you go. So now, immediately before anything else, you have to understand the brilliance of this flex. Once they have her already, there's no purpose to them playing this game. This game is merely to give her the sliver of hope, but they are so sure they will be victorious. The challenge of this game itself is a huge flex. Of course, the game is, we will proceed to play with your private parts for 10 minutes, and if you can hold out without gasming for those 10 minutes, we will let you go. If you actually gasm, then we can continue. I don't know, there's this weird logic in hentai that, oh, your body likes it, so apparently this is okay and you don't mind. I don't fully understand that philosophy either, but we'll dissect that another time. And to make the flex just a wee bit stronger, they also have these drugs that heightens your sensitivity or whatever, and sexual stimulus, and well, they don't use these drugs on the teacher, even though they could. They use it on themselves since they're so sure that they are going to be victorious. That's right, this flex goes full circle. Huge flex on the teacher right there. I would say very cool, but it's very not cool. And every time I finish recording one of these videos, it makes me want to, like, take a shower in a volcano or something. The lengths I'll go for the fan base. Final flex. And this is from Maki-chan to now. This is the story about a dude who is a hentai artist, and the dude walks onto his porch needing inspiration, hears stuff from the porch next to his, so he peeks into what's going on that porch, and of course, the same thing that's going on in that porch happens on every other porch. Cute girl in her underwear masturbating or something, and he's like, oh, that's definitely normal, and it's not weird for me to stand here for like 5 minutes peeping at all. And of course, when she notices him, it's so surprising and unexpected, being that he was just kind of standing there staring at her. She says to him, oh no, you saw me doing this horrible thing, and since you've seen it, now you can blackmail me and tell me that you'll tell everyone I was doing this, which would destroy my reputation unless I'm forced to have sex with you. Oh, you can now blackmail me like that. And he's like, look, I'm not a degenerate or something. I would never blackmail you to do something like that. And then she pulls the epic Uno reverse card and flexes on him hard and says, oh, well, if you don't blackmail me in that fashion and force me to have sex with you like that, I in turn activate my trap card and will blackmail you that you were peeping on me and ruin your social circle. So now I am blackmailing you, forcing you to blackmail me to have sex with you. Epic flex on her part. Gotta say, it's Hentai Whammon Escanor here. I think that's a strong place to wrap up this video. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I have very mixed feelings about making these videos, as I'm sure you can understand. So definitely smash like, 100,000 likes, and Biggest Flexes in Hentai Part 2 will be out eventually. So definitely subscribble since you don't want to miss it. And of course, this video will be deleted soon, being that is not good for my channel for it to remain alive. And the next video will also be deleted soon, provided that it gets the right amount of likes. So subscribble for a chance to see it. Thank you so much for everything. I hope that you'll take this video as a token token of my gratitude. Have yourselves a most wonderful evening, and remember to stay weird, fam.